So, for this next song called Tropical Boogie, I had my friend Bridger come and help me record this because he's a drummer and he can drum much better than I can. Um, and he brought over some bongos, a tom, um, some drum mics for us to use. Um, just take a look at this mixer real quick. So I have an EQ on everything. So for the solo bongo track, also this other bongo. I forgot. The solo bongo, probably just the same EQ on everything for the bongos. Just a little high boost and a low cut just to clean it up. This one has a little cut at 1,000 just to clean it up also. So not a whole lot, nothing that you can really notice that much. This bongo track has no EQ, I guess. This cajon track has a low cut, even though the cajon has a really big low end, just to take it out so that the tom could fill it in. A little cut at 350 and 2,000, a little boost at 10, just a shelf boost, just to bring up, because it's got a kind of a snare wire inside also. This is mostly just a clean up EQ. That's really what all these are. Yeah, that EQ is really just to help take out some of the cup sound of that drum. And for the toms, a little boost at 60, cut at 120, and a high cut at 3,000 to take out some of the noise from the head, just to fill in the low end and take out some of the punch. This is a trick that I saw in a video. It works really well when you're mixing like drums and bass, to boost, say, the bass at 60 and cut it at 120 and then do the opposite. Same cue and same gain, so that the low instruments aren't fighting for the space in the mix. So that's a great trick. Two toms just panned out a little bit, just to give it a little more space, open up the stereo sound a little bit more. And the talking drums were really kind of difficult to work with since I haven't. This one has no EQ also, just to plug it on there just for fun. Same with this one. So the two talking drums, they're kind of an odd drum, harder to work with than I expected, just because they have you can manipulate the pitch of the drum with how it's made. And the stick noise and that head noise interacted really weird with the reverb a little bit in some recordings, so I had to get rid of those. It was kind of an odd thing, but they sound pretty good. Shaker, just a low cut, a little high boost to bring it out a little more on both of those tracks. I have this decoration slash instrument called the Thunder Gourd, which is a gourd with like a membrane on one side of it and a spring, so when you shake it, it sounds like thunder. So just a little, is there a low cut on this one? No EQ on that. And then some compression, really just barely any. Delay on each with different delay times, just to change it up, stereo delay also. And then those are both going to the reverb channel all the way. I'll show you those real quick. And those are used really just as a big transition into the next part, from part 1 to part 2 of the song, and of course panned pretty far off I don't like to put them, I mean, since they're in the reverb, I could probably put them 100, but putting things 100 from one side to both sides, like guitars and things like that, I just don't like the sound, because if that's the only part in the song playing, then one ear is totally blind, like if you just have one headphone in. So even if it's just like a 95 or like a 99, that's even better than 100 for me. For all these, for the compression on like the bongos and the talking drums, just like a snare preset, and then just manipulate it a little bit for the threshold. Um, just to bring out the drum a little bit, because the recordings were kind of dry. 5-to-1, kind of fast. Middle release time. And I'll show you talking drums real quick. Just needed something different than the rest of them. And even though it's still pretty quiet, really it just helps bring the level up a touch. The shakers, I don't know what kind of compression. Very little. Sort of fast attack, pretty fast release, just to bring up all the sounds. Because the shakers are kind of hard to record with the mic that we used. Everything's going to reverb pretty much, just to give it some space. That's really about it for this song. It was really fun to record. On the master, put a compressor, low preset, messed around with it a little bit. And then I put this mastering plugin, which is fantastic. So what it is pretty much you play your song and then you start it, and you can choose different levels, like what you're doing, what kind of music it is, I think, and how intense you want the assist to kick in. So it'll EQ it. If it needs some stereo flavor, then it will do that, and then it will maximize it also. So that really helps bring the whole song together. It sounds really good. Like without it, it's kind of dry. With it, it just brings everything in really well. So this song was really fun to record, and I'll probably do another version of it, but just more drums, just because the more drums, the better. So that'll be it for this one.